All right, everyone. Welcome once again to Fun Food Fridays. Yay! Hey, Damari, what are we going to prepare this Friday?
I'm Demoria, and today we're going to prepare some black bean brownies for all of our chocolate lovers out there,
Awesome! I love this. Let's go for it. Yum, 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 yum.
right? So,
Yeah.
first we are going to start with 1 can of black beans. We want to rinse these, and we're going to throw these in a blender or food processor.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to continue with our wet ingredients. So we have 3/4 cup of almond milk.
Mm. So now the thing about this phenomenal recipe is that the base is black beans. So you are getting a powerhouse of wonderful amino acids from the protein in the beans, as well as fantastic amounts of fiber. So this recipe is good for so many things, including making sure that you go to the bathroom. Yeah, that's what that fiber is going to do. So you don't have to feel guilty about these black bean brownies. Mm-mm.
You
Okay,
certainly
go
don't.
for it. And you put in what kind of almond milk, Demorier?
Unsweetened almond milk.
Remember the unsweetened almond, not the sweetened one. Okay.
There's a lot of sugar in the sweetened one
Mhm.
that you
Yeah.
will have to accommodate for if you do that. Next, we're going to put in a little bit of coconut oil, 1/4 cup, and it's toasty in here, so it's already melted, but you want to make sure that it is liquid before you put it in the blender.
And you do not have to add coconut oil. So I know there are a lot of you that are out there that are concerned about making the shift away from oils and lowering the amount of oils that you're consuming. So feel free to not use the coconut oil. You do not have to use the coconut oil.
No. Actually, I put this together um, by looking at a couple different recipes. So there's a lot of different ways that you can mix and match and make successful black bean brownies. This is just what I did.
Yeah. So that's
And
a phenomenal thing to keep in mind. The way you make your black bean brownies is for you. We always want you to remember to customize it for you. Do not think that you have to go 100% according to whatever we have done in our little recipe here. This is just to give you ideas and get that steam just percolating like, I wonder if I did such and such. Go for it.
exactly. Then we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Awesome. Don't you just love how that vanilla smells? Oh, I love it. And it just adds that yummy yumminess to any of your baked goods, sweet goods and things of that nature.
I was so surprised yesterday that even as I was just putting things into the blender, I was like, this is already smelling delicious.
And it hasn't even started baking yet. Wow.
Right. All right, and we're also going to customize this with some essential oils. We're going to put a dash of cinnamon essential oil,
Oh God, this is yum yum. And the
right?
cinnamon, not only does it help you it just stimulates all of those senses in the nose, but really and truly, cinnamon also helps with helping you to regulate blood sugar metabolism in your body. So that is why feel free to add cinnamon powder or the cinnamon essential oil, which will really notch it up several degrees.
Yes, because it's so potent, like
Mhm.
just 2 drops, and the brownies have a nice subtle taste of cinnamon throughout them.
Yeah.
We're also
Those
going to
drops
add
are
this,
powerful. Hmm.
we're also going to add this tropical blend from
Ooh,
doTERRA.
I love the tropical blend from doTERRA. I add it to like my smoothies and puddings, and in this case, the black bean brownie. It just makes it smell and taste so good.
Mm.
Yum.
And the funny part is I'm being so genuine. Like it does smell good.
Don't you wish that you were here at It Takes a Village Ministry in Greenwood, Florida with us? Know that you can come and visit us. So feel free to send us a little message and we can arrange for you to come and visit. Also, we have upcoming events that are going to be here so that you can meet us in person and know that we are not bots. We are not AI. We are actual flesh and blood human beings. Yes. Go ahead.
Think we're AI? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give this a blend. Cover
Uh-huh.
your ears. What? Every time. Okay.
Uh-oh.
1 second. Let me just double check the
Uh-huh.
part. It should be working because the lights are on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I did not plug it in.
That's how you know we are for real. Oh, yep, it just went bloop. So yes,
So
yes,
also
these
make
things
sure
happen.
that your supplies is plugged in.
So we're going to blend it to a nice smooth consistency. Where see that all the actual individual beans have blended away, and it's going to make this nice little smooth paste kind of thing.
Yes, we want a nice, smooth consistency. You would never
Mhm.
know that this was ever a bean.
Yep. And I encourage you to share it with your kids, your husband, everyone. Do not tell them what's in it. Just give it to them, and they will go, Mama, I want some more. And you're like, yes, baby. Here, you can have some more. You can have as much as you want.
If you have more powerful equipment, you can go ahead with these next steps and like put it directly in the blender.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but brownie batter is quite thick, so I'm gonna go ahead and mix this by hand as we
Okay.
move on to the dry
Yeah.
ingredients.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh, one of the things to keep in mind is that we also included fennel because fennel was part of that tropical essential oil mix, and fennel will help you to better deal with the gassy nature of our wonderful beans. So if you don't have the essential oil, you can put in a couple bits of fennel into your blend before you blend it in the blender. All right.
All right. So next I'm going to add 1/4 cup of cacao.
Ooh, yum, yum, yum. Cacao. Woohoo. And yes,
And
this is the real thing. We're not talking about that fake stuff. We're talking about real cacao powder. Yes.
and make sure you sift all your dry ingredients. I sifted them before I started so that you don't have to watch me do boring things.
Okay.
So we don't get big old chunks of cacao powder in your brownies. We want a nice,
That wouldn't
smooth
be too
consistency.
tasty.
And then we're also going to add 1/4 cup of coconut flour.
Mm,
So we're getting creative with the flours that we're going to use today, even though
yeah.
you could use a traditional flour.
Yeah. So you can definitely, like Demorier said, use an ordinary flour. One of the reasons why we're using the coconut flour is because it adds extra fiber and it cuts down on the glycemic index for those of us who are challenged with having good balance of blood sugar.
Apologies.
Yeah, our camera seems to have gone wonky on us. Oh, there we go.
Yes, and we are back.
Yay.
Um, next, we're going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt
Mm-hmm. Yum, yum.
to all those wonderful flavors that we have in there.
Yeah. So just that one little dash of salt will help your food to hold the flavor. And salt, believe it or not, many people are deficient in salt, because we've gotten so crazy about, oh, don't have salt. But guess what? Your body needs salt. Now, I'm not saying to go out there and eat a pound of salt. I'm also not going to tell you go out there and eat all kind of junk food. What I'm saying is to use like sea salt that has the essential minerals, critical minerals in it that your body needs.
We are also going to add a half a teaspoon of baking powder.
Hmm. And in this case, we're using aluminum-free baking powder because we want to keep our brain cells operating as long as possible.
And for the sweetness, we have several options.
Mm.
Today, I'm using this turbino sugar, or wait,
Ah,
turbinado, my bad, turbinado cane sugar.
uh-huh.
Yes, and
Yay.
I'm only putting in 1/4 of a cup of this,
Mm.
and we're going
Awesome.
to supplement with some other sweeteners.
Hmm. So we're using the
So,
turbinado sugar because it is not refined like your ordinary white sugar. And so it still has the fiber in it and it still has the mineral content in it from the original sugar cane.
yes, it's very important that even when we're eating things that are considered bad, that we get those nutrients and minerals. That is how we achieve balance.
Hmm.
And that's one of the things that makes these things so quote unquote bad is that we're not getting the full experience of these foods that we're eating and enjoying.
Hmm. And again,
Speaking of
one of the
which,
wonderful things about your black bean brownies is that now it goes into the category of wonderful, healthy food. Because as you can see, what we've been including here are actually food items. The only thing that we have added that, and this can be modulated according to each individual palate, is the amount of sweetener. But other than that, you know, this is like black bean soup kind of stuff that we're
yeah,
using, or pretty much. What's next?
yes, so we're going to add a little bit more sweetener. Again, we have the stevia that comes
Mhm.
straight from the leaf. Again, getting those fiber, minerals, the whole 9 yards. We're going to do 3/4 of a teaspoon.
Mhm. And
Um,
it may sound like a little, but I'm telling
it's
you
a
that
lot.
stevia is powerful. And what it's going to do is that it's going to help to accentuate the sweetness that is in the turbinado sugar. Because remember, we didn't really use that much turbinado sugar. So if you look at an ordinary recipe, and let's say the ordinary recipe called for a cup of sugar, I would suggest that you consider halving that and then adding a little bit of stevia because the stevia will help to carry it over.
Yes. So for people who like the full sweetness of things, about 1 tablespoon of stevia is about a is the equivalent sweetness of like a cup of sugar. So that's why we only use 3/4 of a teaspoon here,
Woo. Yeah, I don't think I've ever used that much stevia. I tell you, that's a
right?
whole lot of stevia. Mm-mm.
So some other options that we're not using today, but just so you can know about, you can also sweeten with honey. I saw several recipes that have great suggestions for how much honey you can put in your brownies. And we also have this wholesome organic molasses that is unsulfured. Tell us more about this, Michelle.
Well, I love the organic molasses because I have a tendency of being anemic. And so, what I do with myself and all of my clients who are anemic, especially our women, is tell them to have a tablespoon of molasses in some hot water each morning because it is high in iron. Because the molasses is actually the what's taken out of the sugar when they're processing it to make it the white sugar that most people eat. And so this black strap molasses, not the fake molasses. Oh, I got to remember to warn you. A lot of the molasses that you'll find in stores is just junk, caramelized colored junk, right? So you have to be careful to look for raw organic molasses or black strap molasses. And that's where you get the actual real molasses that has all of the minerals and fiber in them. Yum, yum, but it has a strong taste. So you may have to acclimate yourself. It has a strong earthy taste to it. So that's why I think Demoria is choosing not to use the molasses today.
Actually, I'm just unfamiliar with it, and I was like, I have no idea how much molasses to put in here.
Yeah. So you can start off with like putting like a tablespoon, when you're doing something, and then you can slowly increase it. And as you increase it, you can decrease the other sweeteners. So it's a balancing act. But like you said, if you're not used to it, it may take some getting used to.
Yeah, so I'm giving this a good stir, getting all my ingredients incorporated.
Yum yum.
And then I'm going to drizzle. Well, it doesn't really drizzle because it's solid. We have some whole walnuts here that I crushed.
Oh yay.
Yes.
Yay. What is a
So
brownie without walnuts? Phenomenal with your omega-3 fatty acids. Good for your brain.
we're going to throw a handful of those in, a little sprinkle, sprinkle.
And the beautiful thing about walnuts is that it's in alignment with what we call nature's signatures. So there are lots of foods in nature that if you look at them, they give you a clue as to what they're good for. If you look at a walnut, what does it look like?
A brain.
It looks like a brain, and that tells you it is good for the brain. Yay!
Okay. And now it's time. We're almost at the end of our recipe. So we're going to put a little bit of coconut oil, just enough to coat the pan, the bottom and the side.
Yeah. And this is just going to, like she said, prevent it from sticking, you
Yeah.
know. So just a little tad. And then we're going to pour it in. And how much do we bake this at and for how long?
So I bake this at 350 degrees for
Mm-hmm.
about 25 minutes. Well, for
Mm-hmm.
about, yes, for about 25 minutes, although I used a convection oven. So it might
Mm-hmm.
take a little bit longer. I would cook it at about 350 for about 30 minutes or so
Mm-hmm.
in a conventional oven.
Okay, sounds good. And then what is it going to look like when it's all done?
Where did I put all these things?
Oh
Yes,
my, yum. Bring it up to the camera. Let us
I know.
see.
When we are all done, we're going to have some beautiful brownies just like this.
Ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so very much for our black bean brownies today, Demorier. And I encourage you guys to try out this recipe. If you make certain changes for yourself, be sure to let us know what you did and what did you. Oh, see, she's going to try to eat up all the brownies before I can get some. Uh huh. I see you. I'm coming right now to get me some brownies. Uh huh. But anyway,
You
look,
gotta
y'all,
get over
I
here.
got to go get some brownies. So I will talk to you later. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the little notification bell so that you will know when we are starting our Fun Food Fridays. Until next week, bye.